Greetings, greetings, greetings. Ready for revolution. Assalamu alaikum. Great golden morning. Y'all know the rules. Share with everyone everywhere. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, fam. Let's go, let's go. All right, everyone, as we're populating and loading up and people are sharing and getting ready for an extraordinarily tremendous all these superlatives, right? Tremendously productive day in this thing called life. I want to welcome all of you to a different type of classes and session. My wife and I are on the road currently, and I couldn't get any of the other apparatuses to work, so you can see the programming that we had laid out for you today. So this is more so a conversation regarding the winning spirit, and we want you to share it out with everyone. Make sure that you take good notes. Hopefully, I'll say something that's meaningful and worth your time and your consideration. But I want to thank all of you for being a part of this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity here at Classes in Session. The subject matter for today, of course, is the winning spirit, maintaining, securing, grasping, relying on, and in some respects, recovering the winning spirit. It's a spirit that needs to stay with everything breathing. It's not always accomplishable, in particular when you're talking about human life. Human life, we have those qualities like the God, where we have the power of choice, the power of decision, we have the power of reasoning, and sometimes we can reason and or rationalize ourselves right out of a great spirit. So the things I want to share with you this morning in relation to winning is having the proper spirit. Good morning to you, Sister Cece Mahone, Sharon Vicks. Happy birthday, Sister Sharon Vicks. Y'all shout Sister Sharon out. Happy birthday to you. Hey, Nikki Knox. Hey, Team Believe. Glad to see all of you, Team Odessa. Steph McNeil. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Man, incredible what's going on in Seattle and all of that area of Washington. So, family, let's what is it to win? Let's approach it this way. What is it to win? To win is to claim victory. All right. Over what? Over whatever challenge you may have, whatever trial you may have, or whatever goal you seek to accomplish. Claiming victory is realizing the power of a dream or a vision, you know, and it doesn't come by accident. Victory, winning, is like success. Success is not accidental. Success is purposed and purpose planned. Okay? You have to plan for success. You have to plan to win. You know, you have to have that strategy. You have to have that uh, activity that speaks to your ability to achieve. And so when you plan a thing, an objective, a vision, a goal, when you plan those things, you do it with a particular focus. And that focus lays out an agenda for yourself, your life, whether you're writing it down, which you should always be writing it down. As you plan out your course of action, it creates a roadmap by which you're looking to achieve or work. And as you work that road, you're going to find you're tweaking it along the way to make sure it fits, to make sure it's palatable to not just what you're looking to achieve, but sometimes possibly to encourage others to join you, or sometimes possibly streamlining the community that you become a part of. You will find quite often that when it comes down to um, when it comes down to winning, winning is rooted in a plan. It's rooted in a plan, and being rooted in a plan requires discipline. It requires a commitment. It requires the maintaining of the desire. It requires a stick to itness, consistency, and persistency. You know, to win is to claim a victory. Well, how do we get there? Or better yet, let's take it from the approach that we were hoping to produce to you in a video presentation. Suppose you miss your mark. Suppose you miss your mark. Let's say you needed to accomplish something by yesterday, or a month ago, and you didn't quite hit the mark. How do you maintain the winning spirit when you're facing what you might perceive as defeat? The first thing to do is change your deadline. Just push it up. Just push it up. You know, early on in this wealth building activity, I set a goal for uh, 400, 40,000 people in my downline. I'll never forget talking to my mentor and sponsor, Mr. Ty Best. I said, Mr. Best, I have a goal, 40,000 people in the organization by the end of December, uh, 2019, I believe it was. I was fired up, and he was fired up around me. He said, man, that's great. Let's go. Let's do it. He said, how many do you have now? I said, 40. It was already, I think, September. He said, I'm not going to step on anybody's dream, brother. I dream, and I dream big, but you might just be stretching a little bit by December. You need a plan. You need to work your plan and be prepared to change your date if your deadline isn't quite there. If you go for 40,000, you fall short, you only have 20. Do you stop striving? Do you quit? You keep moving. If you have achievements that you want, some of us in the opportunity in Wealth Builders Worldwide, we have what's known as ranks, and we have rank advancements, and monthly we hit certain crescendos and benchmarks, and those benchmarks allow us to particular benchmark. That achievement comes with some measure of compensation. It mainly comes with celebration because we're just so flat out happy over everybody, over each other. We don't know what to do with ourselves. Okay, but at the same time, you may have a personal goal that you missed. I wanted to be the best coming out of the gate in this magnificent launch in Gold Standard Partners. I wanted everything associated with winning. And so I set a fanatical pace. And I encourage everyone to join me on that fanatical pace. And it came with a price. Now, I reached 3 of the goals. And They compensated handsomely. The main goal is one that I'm still striving for. Yes, I reached the Rising Block Star and Block Star and Block Star Certification. Did it in 20 by God's grace and permission. This is something that he told, it didn't come on my own. It didn't come in a vacuum. It came with a team. It came with a team. You're relentless in your pursuit. You're relentless in in your approach, and it alienates. Those are sacrifices. You find yourself so focused, you forget time of day. You forget how day runs into night. The days run into each other. You don't know what time it is. You keep running, 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 running. It becomes inconsiderate in the households. It becomes inconsiderate amongst some of your peers because the pace that you have is fanatical. It's way beyond anything that you personally sought to accomplish, right? And so you're moving and you're running. But the one goal that I did not reach was everybody reaching the goal. That's what I wanted and want more than anything else. I want everybody to win. So I set a pace, and setting that pace, I was also attempting to set an example on how to do it. Where was I going to get the example from? I was going to get it from my leadership. Why? Because my favorite two definitions: opportunity is a chance at success, and success is the study of the obvious. If you're not studying in this Wealth Builders Worldwide community, if you're not studying Mr. Michael L. Dalco, if you're not studying Mr. Tyrone Best, if you're not studying Mr. Roger Williams and all of those that come before us in leadership, who show through example, then chances are you're slightly off the path of yielding to success in the time frame or in the fashion by which you hope to. So I rely still on everything that Mr. Tyrone Best lays out, everything Mr. Michael L. Dalco lays out, everything that I see in the examples of our leadership and the different teams and the various leaders and then all these organizations of Wealth Builders Worldwide. Why? Because their success is mine. They want for their sister and brother what they want for themselves because they understand the number one trade-off in networking. The number one trade-off is you cannot be a successful networker if you're not willing to help someone else be successful. You can't. It's impossible because the root of a networker is to add value to the life of the next person. It's to add value to the life of the next person. So when I say to you, or when others on the stream say to you, like a brother Maurice or sister Sophia or brother Majael, when they say things like, hey, if you could spend $150 one time to position yourself to earn $200,000 to $300,000 in 9 months to a year, would you do it? When they put those kind of questions to you, they're putting them to you not clichéic, not as something to say, not as a coffee table discussion. They're putting it for you because it was before them as an example. People are before you in Wealth Builders Worldwide who have done it, who know what it is and know the road and know the steps, and they allow you to take the steps in more than half the time. I'll give you an example. A couple of days ago, last Friday, we were blessed with a magnificent marathon of wisdom, the Mike and Magic Show. We call it that affectionately, endearingly, in Wealth Builders. But it was the presentation of Mr. Michael L. Dalco and his mentor, Mr. Tyrone Best. That one presentation, 3 hours plus, okay, represented more than 50 years, folks. More than 50 years, practically 6 decades of wisdom of how to do this business. The things that you don't read, the things that you can't see, the things that you can't develop a formula around, those nuggets, those gems, those jewels, those wisdoms were present for us for 3 solid hours. That magic, that which we experienced, launches and explodes a business when you're willing to be the business. So I lean, as others of us, we lean heavily on those jewels and those gems, and leaning in that way, working in that way, doing as they do. They take a step, you put your foot in that footstep. They take another step, you put your foot in that next step. Because it's about the duplication. And anyone who understands the power of wealth, understands the formula of wealth, is rooted in duplication. Keeping it simple. Simplicity creates duplication. Duplication creates wealth. It's a formula, it's a system that wealth builders utilize, and truth be told, it is that for life itself. Keeping it simple. We overcomplicate a lot of things in this thing called life because we're given the power of decision, we're given the power of thinking and rationale, right? So we overcomplicate a lot of things. But when we're blessed and fortunate to keep it simple, to focus and study the obvious. What's the obvious in this world? Well, let's look at a couple of things. One, you wake up in the morning, right? You wake up in the morning and you didn't do it on your own. Something, someone, there's a force that allowed you to awake. It allowed you to get up. And when you recognize that that's something beyond your ability, that's simple. When you recognize that the vegetation in the earth, the waters amongst the seas, the air that you breathe are all very basic, simple necessities, yet and still you created none of them. They didn't start with you. They were here when you came, and Allah willing, they'll be here when we leave. Then you know the simple, your study of the obvious. So when you recognize the power of what you have based off of those before you, in front of you, it allows you an opportunity at success. So, the winning spirit. When you continuously focus on that which is greater than you, you won. When you work, or rather pray, like everything depends on that which is greater than your suffering, everything depends on that creator, and you work like everything depends on you, you win. That's success. That's success. That's a simple, simple formula. Simple formula. But what happens when you don't achieve the goal and it leaves you feeling a certain kind of way? You change the date. Well, some things don't come back. Well, this is true. But what grows with you is the wisdom you extract from it. So I'll give you another example. When you find that a goal or a benchmark has surpassed you, that's not something you go back to the bathroom and look into the mirror and sulk over. That is something that you have to recognize was not for you at that moment, that there's a greater calling ahead. That's when you wake up, as like Brother Sean says, it's a new day. That's what you do. You know, you don't wallow and stay in yesterday. You look at the blessings you have now and move forward with the wisdom extracted from yesterday. We do a believers huddle every morning after class and session, 9:15 a.m. on a Zoom platform of wealth builders, right? We sit and we dialogue, Team Believe does rather, and we sit and we dialogue over the activities, um, past, present, before us. And we continue our course of action, our plan of action, right? Well, today is a great opportunity because we're in a new day. We're in a new month. This is Black History Month, the first day of Black History Month. We're in a new month. And in being in this new month, it requires newer, possibly greater approaches to accomplishing the goals, the benchmarks that are still on agenda, right? So the first thing that you should always do in what you consider a not as successful run is to run harder and run harder, but run harder based off of your peers and colleagues. We sit and we discuss what could we have done better. What are some of the things that what are our takeaways from a yesterday? What happened between December 1st and January 31st that was so phenomenal, so tremendous, so overwhelming of an event that all over the world yesterday we celebrated rank achievements, we celebrated high commissions and retail commissions and great payouts and uh, oh man, an abundance of coins. Many of us were rewarded in several ways. Okay. Um, well, out of 55,000 people in this opportunity, some rewards weren't as great as others in terms of tangible. You may not see them right away. You hear and see people being celebrated and you clap over them and all that good stuff. But what are some of the takeaways? What are some of the things that you could have done better because there's greater rewards on the horizon because we are children of abundance? I like what my sister and business partner, Sister Missy Sheely says. She demands amazement. She lives in the fantastic. And she says, I choose to stay amazing. Well, with that attitude, you will, right? So, with that attitude, what makes your amazing, meaning you, myself, everyone on the stream, what makes our amazing that much more amazing? How can we improve on that amazement to make it a greater February, a greater March, a greater April, a greater future? You stay plugged into the community that helps you with that dynamic. And as you stay plugged in with that community, you then learn the things that will make us better. This is going to be a very short, deliberately short stream today of class and session because of our activities and where we are. And my wife and I, like I said, we're on travel right now. And so, with that being said, at 9:15 this morning, we'll be on uh, the Believers Huddle, and then at 10:45 a.m., www.goldrocks.info uh, will be on the Mighty Power Call. The Power Call is that vehicle of wealth builders worldwide that we utilize every morning, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, again, 10:45 a.m. We use that time to elevate, uplift, educate, commemorate at times, most times celebrate the life that's in front of us because we represent a new norm, an entirely new paradigm in a world that has been turned upside down, topsy turvy, and God chose us to be the new solution to old problems. I'll give it to you like my brother Reggie Scott. You are invited to today's power call on the new platform, 10:45 a.m. Eastern, 9:45 a.m. Mountain, 7:45 a.m. the Maui Pacific time. That's right. www.goldrocks.info. www.goldrocks.info. There's a password. Those two sisters know it. Everybody on this platform know it. You need that password in order to enjoy the live events of 10:45 a.m. Power Call, the 12 noon presentation from Dr. Hollins, the 7 p.m. presentation in entirely in Spanish from my brother Juan Martinez, and the 9 p.m. presentation this evening by our brother Mr. Michael L. Dalco. I'm talking about V10 Free 103 himself. You want this password? There you go. If you can't make that out, if that doesn't work for you, if you don't understand that that's a secret, you can unlock that secret by getting back to the one who introduced the opportunity to you and let them know that they're ready, that you're ready to get started and learn more about this opportunity. I'll ask you these couple of questions. Do you look for ways to make more money? Do you keep your financial options open? If I could show you how to take $150 one time and position yourself with that $150 one time spent to earn $200,000 to $300,000 in 6 months to a year, is that something that would interest you? And you need to get with the Wealth Builders Worldwide family. You need to get with us because we represent leading from the future. We represent an experience waiting for you. We are the world's miracle because we tie the vehicle to the mission. We tie the vehicle to the sense of purpose. We tie the vehicle to our dreams. What is the vehicle? It takes money, honey. It takes wealth. It takes wealth. And when you understand, number one, that true wealth is in the spirit, you work with a winning spirit. You'll accrue in that spirit because you'll be serving first. And anybody willing to serve first, anybody that's willing to serve others first, is empowered, is imbued with the abilities and the capabilities to enjoy the reward waiting for the masses. No longer do you have a few holding sway and power wickedly over the many. Crisis destroyed tradition. And here we are today, 2021, with a vehicle in our hands, an appreciating asset that grows over time, and we get it for free. Y'all need to come on with the come on. Get back with the one who introduced this opportunity to you. Let everybody know what you have in your hands. If you don't understand, you're in the right place with the right people because we'll help you with the understanding. The community that grows here, the ability that you achieve. I mean, this will be another stream. I'll be back later on today, inshallah. And I want to talk to you more about overcoming rejections and obstacles. But right now, I'm preparing for a tremendously rewarding income and asset producing activity. I'll see us believers at 9:15 on our huddle, and I'll see the rest of us on the mighty power call. Invite everyone, spare no one, love on everybody, wait for no one. Peace and power. Ahu.